Good day and good evening all. I'm James Merrill of the Popcorn Ready podcast, and today's movie review will be of The Batman film. Released in 2022, it's a 15 rated movie lasting just under 3 hours, starring Robert Pattinson as the Caped Crusader defending Gotham from the Riddler and the mob. I'm going to start off this review with the director, Matt Reeves, who also helped co-write the film. I think he does a brilliant job in getting Gotham City looking like the fans of the comic books would imagine, in its gritty, dark depiction just of what city life would be. This film's opening 10 to 15 minutes is one of the strongest openings I've seen in years. It really sets the stall out for the rest of the movie and just invites you into the world of Gotham and the Batman franchise. I also think having Robert Pattinson, who plays Batman in this film, do the voiceover or narrate the first few minutes was a strong move that paid off. The director also made this Batman film a little bit different to the Bale franchise, as this one is a bit more crime noir, a bit more detective-like than the all-action hero of necessarily the Dark Knight trilogy. Which again was a great move, and I think it works really well. This film seems to cross over from the comic books a little bit better in my mind than some of the other movies. Now, going on to characters, Robert Pattinson as Batman does do a good job. I do think it's quite clever how he isn't really acting that much with many sort of sentences of speech. He's just playing the sort of hard man and that elusive sort of, vigilante in the film that everyone's kind of scared about, the police and the bad guys. Where this movie really shone for me is in the side characters. You have Zoe Kravitz play Catwoman, Paul Dano as the Riddler. He has some very impressive one-on-one scenes, especially when he's unmasked, where you really do get to see the craziness of the Riddler come out. You have Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Just a whole host of other actors and characters that do develop as the story goes on. And I really do think they help assist the movie into being a really good one. The only two characters I was slightly disappointed in, first up was Alfred, played by Andy Serkis. Again, always a key character in the films as Batman's right-hand man and butler, and really he just is an underused character in my opinion. All he really does is help out with a couple of crosswords and some puzzles. So yeah, I definitely would have had him more involved because it makes Batman more of a lone figure and he can't do everything by himself. It feels as if only Detective Gordon is the one really looking out for Batman, who really wants to get results and help Gotham. And I think Jeffrey Wright does a superb job in his role and acting. Secondly, John Turturro, who plays Falcone, I think he needed to be a more evil character. I wanted to see a bit more menace from him. And really, as the head of the criminal underworld, the Penguin outshines him a little bit, which I think the balance was slightly wrong. I thought the sets and costumes of all the characters in the film was brilliant, especially Zoe Kravitz. All I'll say is move over, Halle Berry. There's a new Catwoman in town. Absolutely stunning lady. And Colin Farrell as the Penguin, his face makeup and prosthetics, absolutely insane. You can't even tell it's him. That's how good it is. My only slight critique on any of the outfits would be the Riddler, who is the main nemesis in this film, as he's the serial killer leaving clues for Batman and the police to follow. I just didn't like his mask, really. I know it's ex-army surplus and it did kind of link together with everything, but for me, I just would have done it slightly differently. It just looked a little bit sort of like a gimp mask for my liking. One of my many favourite scenes in the movie is the chase scene, where you actually get to see Batman in the Batmobile chasing down Oz, aka the Penguin. Really, really good scene, loads of special effects, high adrenaline fueled action, was really good. But there's something about the look of the Batmobile being like that American muscle car. I'm not sure if it ticked all the boxes for me, as the comics depict a car more like in the Bale franchise that was used with its armour plating and whatnot. So now onto the storyline. I think the story is gripping throughout and does have a nice flow for a really long movie. Really, I think the last 10-15 minutes drag a little bit, but other than that, a thoroughly entertaining watch. And the storyline isn't that linear neither. It has many twists and turns and is a really good investigative crime film, of which you really do feel that Bruce Wayne is a troubled character who really is trying to live up to his family's expectations. Anyway, now on to my ratings. Is it sweet or is it salted, people? I'm giving this one a sweet 8.1 out of 10. As always, thank you for listening, and please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.